So, all right, everything is fine now. The recording has started. So, now let us begin our today's class. So, first, I am going to create here a new folder called as day 19. And inside this folder, I am going to open my VS Code. So, as you have confirmed that there is no issue with my audio and video. So, I am going to disable the chat section. So, here I am going to create a new file called as third party modules. So now what is the major difference between user-defined modules and built-in modules? So in case of built-in modules, some modules comes along with the installation of Python. We can directly use them. Whereas in user-defined modules, we create our own module and after that we will use that module in our other Python file. So the usage is exactly same. We use the same import keyword and we call the functions in the similar manner. So in case of we have discussed about OS module, right? So to create a folder, we call a function called as mkdir. So os.mkdir followed by parenthesis. And inside that parenthesis, we will pass folder name. In the similar manner, we have created a module called as calculator. And to call a function called add, we say calculator dot add followed by parenthesis. And inside that parenthesis, we will pass our two arguments. So here the usage is exactly same, but the main difference is uh, in case of built-in modules, they come along with the installation of Python. We can directly use them. Whereas user-defined modules, we create our own module and after that we will use them. Now we are going to discuss about third-party modules. So in case of third-party modules, again the usage is exactly same. We are going to use the same import keyword and we are going to call the function in the similar way. But here the main difference is we directly can't import that module. So before importing that module, first we need to install that module. So I am going to select the interpreter. Now we are going to see how to install the third-party module and after that how can we use that module. And also in Google Meet, I think we have an option called live captions. So yes, you can see here, turn on live captions. So if you click on this, then you will automatically get captions of whatever I am speaking. So this is one feature available in Google Meet. You can use this in case if you have any issues with my accent or with my English so that you can easily understand. Okay, fine. Now we are going to discuss about a third-party module called PyAuto GUI. So this is a third-party module. With the help of this module, we can take screenshots and we can write something. We can click on specific position. So I am going to show you how we can do all of those things. But this PyAuto GUI is a third-party module. If I directly import this PyAuto GUI module, in your case, you will get error. If you run this program, you can see here I haven't got anything on the output screen, but in your case you will definitely get an error called as module not found error. So I have already installed this module, so I am not getting any error, but in your case you will get error. So to avoid that error, first you need to install this module before importing. So how can we do that? So there are two ways. First way is open cmd. So open command prompt and here you need to enter the command. So the command to install a third party module is pip followed by install followed by module name. Now we are installing PyAuto GUI module, right? So pip install PyAuto GUI. Don't worry, I will write the syntax also. So you can see here I am getting as requirements already satisfied. So here the point is I have already installed this module. In your case, the installation will begin. And of course, make sure that you have connected to internet. So it requires internet connection to install third-party modules because here directly we are downloading that module from the internet. Okay. So I hope you understood the process of installation of third-party modules. So this is the one way of installing. The another way is you can directly enter the command here itself in the terminal. We have this terminal, right? So inside this terminal itself, we can directly enter the command like this. So first let me write the command here. So to install any module, the syntax is basically it's not a syntax. I can say it as a command. First pick keyword pip. This is a it is not a keyword, it is a command. So pip followed by install followed by module name. Like this, you can install any third-party module in Python and make sure that you have connected to internet while installing. So in order to install PyAuto GUI module, our command is pip install PyAuto GUI. So if I run this command, the PyAuto GUI module will get installed on my Windows operating system. Okay. So now I will show you how you can install from the terminal itself. So without opening command prompt, you can directly install from the terminal itself also. So in case if you are using some other IDEs like Jupyter Notebook, then you should install first in the terminal. There also we can directly install, but it is totally different concept. Leave that. Here the command is pip install PyAuto GUI. After that, hit enter. Now again, I am going to get output as requirements already satisfied. Why? Because I have already installed this module. In your case, installation will begin. Okay, all right. So like this, we will install a third-party module. And after that, if we import this module, and after that, if we run this program, then we will not get any kind of error. Now we have successfully installed this module called as PyAuto GUI. So all right. So now there are lots of functions available in the PyAuto GUI module. So I can say here as PyAuto GUI in Python. So this is the official documentation of PyAuto GUI. First, you can see here. This is the command which we need to run. Pip install PyAuto GUI. After running this command, our PyAuto GUI module will be installed on our operating system. And after that, this is the usage, like how we can use this PyAuto GUI module. So let me zoom in a little bit. I think you all can see clearly, no? So these are all the functions available in PyAuto GUI module. You don't have to worry about all these functions. I'm going to explain some of the basic functions and some of the functions which I use in most of the cases. All right. So here, so there is a function called PyAuto GUI.alert, and basically this alert function will show a pop-up message to us. So here I am creating a alert. So here my alert is you are running a Python program. So in case if you have a requirement to create alert boxes, then you can use this alert function which is available in PyAuto GUI module. You can see here we are using the exactly same syntax. It doesn't matter whether it is a user-defined module or built-in module or third-party module. First module name followed by dot, after that function name followed by parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis we will pass our arguments. So the way of usage is exactly same. But in case of third-party modules, before importing that module, we just need to install that. That's it. And now we know how to install a module. We need to run this command. It's as simple as that. Now if I run this program, you can see here, I think you all can see this alert box. So inside this alert box, I am having a message called as you are running a Python program. If I click on OK, my program will end. That's it. So if you want to create alert boxes like that, means you can use alert function, and whatever the string which you are passing to this alert function will be displayed on my alert box, which means here I am passing a string called as you are running a Python program. And if I run this, now you can see here I got the exact same text here. You are running a Python program. Now if I click on OK, my program will end execution. That's it. So similarly, there is another function called as confirm. So basically this confirm function will return a value something like this. Let me show you. So I am going to declare a variable called as CNF. So it is my variable name. You can use your variable name of your wish. That's it. So PyAutoGUI dot confirm. So so what is the main difference between confirm and alert is alert will just to show a pop-up and you will have a button called OK. Whereas in case of confirm, we will have two buttons like yes or no. So basically user will confirm here whether to proceed yes or whether not to proceed no, like that. So here I can say, do you want to continue, something like this. So you can use this depends based upon your requirement. That's the thing here. So do you want to continue, and also so this confirm takes buttons. Okay. Let me run this without passing any buttons. So I am going to directly run this program. Now I am going to comment out line number 7 so that I won't get any alert this time. So if I run this, you can see here I got a confirm box here. I am having two buttons, OK and cancel. So basically, if I print CNF now, CNF is my variable here. So if I run this program, it is asking me, do you want to continue? If I click on OK, you can see here I got output as OK on my terminal. Have a look at the terminal now. I got output as OK. Similarly, if I run this program once again, and if I click on cancel now, you can see here I got cancel as output. Okay. So here I can use some if conditions here like this. So if the value stored inside my CNF is OK means, then run something. Here I am going to run a print statement which says thank you for, or else without using print. So it is boring, right? Now we will use alert. Alert. Thank you for continuing. Something like this. So I need to use double equal to here. Why? Because I am comparing this. So the CNF is my variable, which will store whether OK or cancel depending upon my action. If I click on OK button, then inside this CNF variable, OK will get stored. In case if I click on cancel button, now cancel will get stored. Okay. So now here I am going to say else alert something like program cancelled. Okay, something like this. Here what will happen if I click on OK means OK will get stored in my CNF variable. So check out this if condition is OK equal to OK. Yes, condition became true. So the code present inside if block will get executed. Suppose if it is cancel means cancel is not equal to OK. This condition is false. Now the code present inside my else block will get executed. Like this if else conditions works in Python, right? So in case if I click on OK, I am going to get alert messages. Thank you for continuing. In case if I click on cancel, I am going to get alert messages program cancelled. So if I run this program, now if I click on OK, you can see here I got output. I got another alert box here as thank you for continuing. So if I click on OK, now the program has ended. Similarly, if I run this program once again, now if I click on cancel, you can see here I got alert box as program cancelled. So like this, you can do some cool stuff with the help of PyAuto GUI module. Basically, we use this module for automation. So let me mention that we use this module for automation. What is automation? It is basically means repeatedly doing some things. So you can see here with some real-time example. So daily, my first step is I am creating a new folder. After that, inside that folder, I am opening a VS Code. So instead of doing this manually, I can automate this thing also. Okay. So if I run this program, automatically a new folder. Tomorrow, if I run a program, automatically a new folder called day 20 will be created. And inside that folder, our VS Code will open. So instead of doing this thing manually, I can automate this. So that is called as automation. Okay, so now apart from this, we have a function called write. So before discussing about this, I would like to introduce another built-in module called as time. So remember this time, it is a built-in module, which means we don't have to install this module. Why? Because now uh, um, we have a function called as sleep inside this time module. Okay, so what this sleep function does means it will enter into sleep, or else I can say our program will pause the execution for particular seconds. So I will show you. So now there is a module called time. I can say import time, or else now I am going to use only the sleep function. So I can import that specific function with the help of from and import. So from time, so time is my module name, import sleep. Sleep is my function name. So here, if you see a line like this, if you see a line like line number 20, then you should understand what is happening here. So what is happening here? From the time module, we are importing a function called as sleep. Now we can directly use this sleep function inside our program like this, sleep parenthesis. This is how we call functions, right? So to call a function, first we give the function name followed by parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis we pass arguments. That's it. So here, this sleep function will take integer as an argument, and not only integer, it will take floating point number also. So basically, if I say 0.1 means, so my program will halt execution for 100 millisecond. If I say 2 means, my program will pause the execution for 2 seconds. So let me give a basic definition. So sleep, this function is used to pause or stop or halt the execution of program. Now I will show you how this exactly works. So here first I am going to print. So I just want to show you how this works. So that's the reason I am going to print hello, and in another line I am going to print program ended. So instead of printing hello, I am going to print program started. Now here, in between these two print functions, I am going to use the sleep function and I am passing 2 here as input argument. Now what will happen means, so first we are importing the sleep function from the time module. All right, after that we are printing program started. So I am going to get program started on my terminal. After that we are calling this sleep function and we are passing 2 as argument. So basically what happens here means my program will stop execution for 2 seconds. So after 2 seconds again it will continue the execution. Okay, so again after 2 seconds I will get output as program ended. So I won't get output instantly, my program will wait 2 seconds here. So I will run this program. You can see here on the terminal I got program started as output. So I will increase this to 5. Now it will wait for 5 seconds. So I will let me run this program once again. Have a look at the terminal. So I got output as program started. My program hasn't ended now. It is waiting. It will wait for 5 seconds. You can see here after 5 seconds, I got output as program ended. Now my program is terminated. So here my point is, if you want to pause the execution of a program up to some seconds, then you can use this sleep function. So this time is a built-in module in Python. Inside that module, we have a function called sleep, and we can call that function to stop the execution of our program until some seconds. All right. So this is the usage of sleep function in Python. Okay, I hope you understood what is the purpose of this sleep function. It will basically pause the execution of our program. After the specified time is over, means in our case 5 seconds, right? After 5 seconds, again it will continue the execution of the rest of the program. Okay, I hope you understood this. Now, Now here in PyAutoGeo, we have a built-in function called as write. So I'm going to open Notepad here. Okay. So inside my Notepad, so inside my notepad, I am going to type something. I am not going to type manually, but I am going to make my Python program to type for me. Okay. So here my requirement is, suppose this is a silly requirement, but believe me, in future while working on some big automation projects, then there you may definitely use this function. Okay. So there is a function called write. So it will write something on the screen. Okay, so now how to use this simple py dot write, and inside this write function we are going to pass some string, and whatever the string we are passing, it will basically type those characters on my screen. That's it. So here I am going to pass as hello world, and after that I'm asking it to enter into a new line, and I'm going to place this inside a loop for I in range 10. So 1 comma 11. So it will start from 1 and it will end at 11. I am going to use f strings here. Okay. So here I am going to print the value of I. So now if I run this program, immediately it will start typing on my screen. So I am going to stop the execution of my program for 3 seconds. Why? Why? Because after running this program, I need to open this notepad and I need to click on this notepad. Now, whatever the things which are present inside this write function will get typed on my screen. Okay. So if without this sleep function, if I directly run this program means instantly it will start typing and it will type inside my VS Code itself. So I just want to wait for a few seconds so that I can open my notepad or any other browser or whatever I want. Okay, so now my program will wait for 3 seconds, and after that it will write hello world one, and it will enter into new line. It will write hello world two, hello world three, like that. So I have started the execution of this program. I have opened the notepad. Now you can see here I got the desired output. Hello world 1, hello world 2, hello world 3 until hello world 10. So like this, if you want to type something on the screen, then you can use this write function. So this write is a function available in PyAutoGUI module. You will pass a string to this function. So whatever the string we are passing, that string will get typed on our screen. Okay. So this is about PyAutoGUI module. I hope you understood the concept of write function. Basically, it will write. That's it. So the next function we have is, so we have got a lot of functions, but I am explaining some of the important functions here. So if you want to close a window, so suppose I want to close this, so I am having nothing here. I want to close this. So for closing this, what can we do? I can press Alt F4, right? So if I press Alt F4, or else let me give you a simple example. If I press Control A, you can see here all the contents, all the text which is present inside my third-party modules.py file is marked. So Control A is a shortcut key which is used to mark the text present on a screen. Okay, not only in this Python file. Suppose if I open, we have a web page here, right? If I print Control A, sorry, if I press Control A, then all the contents, all the text which is present on the screen has marked. Okay, so Control A is a shortcut key which is used to mark the text present on a screen. Fine. Now if you want to press Control A with the help of Python, then we have a function called as py2gui dot hotkey ptrl. I think this is correct, but I also need to check. Control A. So let me wait for 2 seconds before executing this line. Okay, so I'm waiting for 2 seconds. Okay, you can see. This time I haven't pressed Control A, but this line number 34 got executed after 2 seconds, and we have a function called hotkey. So whatever the keys which we pass to this function will get pressed simultaneously. Okay, so here we are pressing Control and A at the same time with the help of this function called hotkey. Suppose if you run this Alt F4, something like this, then what is the purpose of Alt F4? It will close the window, that's it. So like this, we have a function called hotkey, we have a function called write. Okay, so we have discussed about this sleep function. If you want to pause the execution of your program until few seconds, then you can use this sleep function, and whatever the number which you are passing inside the function, suppose if I pass 5 means my program will stop the execution for 5 seconds. All right. So one more thing, this time is a built-in module. You don't have to install this. Okay. And this PyAutoGUI, it is not a built-in, it is a third-party module. So we have installed this module with the help of this command, and after that, we have discussed what are some of the amazing built-in functions which are available in this module. All right, I think you clearly understood what is my point over here. So I have enabled the chat section. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. So in this similar way, if you want to use any built-in module means, so first you need to install that module. After that, after installing it, usage is exactly same. It doesn't matter whether you are using NumPy module or matplotlib or any other module. Pip install NumPy followed by import NumPy and NumPy dot function name. That's it. Like that, you can use any module. Okay. So I have enabled the chat section. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. So pip install is not, there is nothing to explain in pip install. It is basically a command. With the help of that command, we can install our module. Okay. So here, if I say pip, so here the syntax is pip install module name. So replace this module name with your module. So here, if I want to install PyAutoGUI means run this command on the terminal, pip install PyAutoGUI. Okay, if you run this command on the terminal, if you hit enter, then automatically the required module PyAutoGUI will get installed on the machine. That's it. So this is the command. That's it. There is nothing like syntax or keywords here. It is a command used to install module. Okay. So if you want to install module C in CMD means open CMD and enter the command. So what is my command? Pip install PyAutoGA. Hit enter. That's it. After that, your required module will get installed. So either you can use CMD or else you can use terminal itself. It's up to you. Okay. So modules are not important for interviews, but while working on projects, without modules, we can't do anything. We use all these modules in our projects. Okay. The concept of modules is important. They may ask questions like what is a module, how to import a module, what is meant by from and import, what is the use of as keyword in Python. They may ask questions like this. So in order to answer those questions, you should have a basic idea regarding what is the use of modules, how we can import them, how we can install them, how we can use them. So like that. Okay, now if you want to learn any module means, suppose if you want to learn NumPy means, go to Google and search for NumPy Python. You will find a web page, enter into that web page and have a look at all the functions which are available in that module. In this similar way, you can learn all the modules. So if you have any doubts in this bright function means someone is asking to explain this bright function, it is nothing. It will type whatever the string. So here I am having a string, right? Hello world followed by I. So I am placing this inside a for loop. So in the first iteration, value of I will be 1, then 2 until 10. After 10, this loop will get ended. Okay. So I will, if I print this, I will get output as hello world 1. In the new line, I will get output as hello world 2. So like that. Okay. So in this write function, whatever the string which I pass here, that string will get typed on my screen. So first H will get typed, after that E, after that L, after that O. It will continue typing like this. Okay. So here, if I run this once again, and also I need to open Notepad or something, because it will type on my Notepad now. All right. So I have started running. It will wait for 3 seconds, and after 3 seconds, it will start execution. You can see here I got the desired output. And also you can see it is typing very quickly. If you want to slow down the typing, then you can pass a parameter here called as interval. So we have a parameter here called as interval, and I am going to say interval is something like 1. So now let me run this once again. Now I have given interval as 1. Now let us see what will happen. You can see here at each second it is typing a character. So it has typed H, waited for 1 second. After 1 second, it typed E. So like that. So you can slow down it with the help of interval parameter. All right. So now I am going to terminate this program. All right. If I say this as 0.5 or else 0.1, let me say 0.3. So in 300 millisecond, so let me run this. Each character will be typed within 300 milliseconds. Okay. You can say this time it is little bit fast. So this is the use of write function. It is used to write something on the screen. It will type all the characters which we are passing to it as a string. Okay, I am going to terminate it. All right. So apart from write, we have another function called as hotkey. So if you want to press two keys simultaneously, like Control A, Alt F4. So we use Control C for copy, right? So if you want to press Control C for paste, we use Control V, right? So I will show you that. So first Control A, followed by Control C. After that, sleep for 2 seconds. After that, again, press Control V. So now what I am going to do means, I am going to mark this key. So I am not running the program now. So first, I am going to open Notepad once again. So here I am going to mark this Control A. I am going to copy this Control C. After that, I am going to open my Notepad, and here I am going to paste it Control V. Okay. So now whatever the program I am having has came inside my Notepad. So here I am going to do the exact same thing with the help of Python now. So I am going to run this program. So it will wait for 2 seconds. So it now let me change this to 1. It will wait for 1 second. After that, it will press Control A. So this hotkey function is used to press two keys simultaneously. That's it. So it will press Control A. After that, it will wait for 1 more second. It will press Control C. After Control C, it will wait for 2 seconds. Now, within these 2 seconds, I am going to open my Notepad here. So now it will execute Control V. So what will happen if I press Control V? All the contents will be pasted on my notepad. That's it. I have started execution of this program. So let us see. It has marked, copied, and it has pasted in the same file itself. Okay. So I need to give some alerts here like this. Wait for a second. Control A, and I am going to print here as copied, and here I am going to print as. So after pressing Control A, I am going to print as marked. Uh, After pressing Control C, I am going to print as copied. So after, if I get this output as copied, means I am going to open my notepad, and after 2 seconds, I am going to paste it on my screen. So I am going to print here as pasted. Okay. So this is there for my debugging purpose. These print statements are for my debugging purpose. So I have started execution of the program. You can see on the terminal I got output as marked, copied. I have opened Notepad now. So I got output as copied, and also you can see I got the entire code on the Notepad. So what am I doing here? I am don't save. I am pressing Control A. I am pressing Control C. Again I am pressing Control V. So all these things we can do with the help of Python. And to do that, we have a function called as hotkey, which will press two keys simultaneously. That's it. So this is the concept of hotkey and write function. So if you want to learn any module, means the only way is you should enter into Google and you should search for that module. And there are thousands of modules available, and each and every module we have hundreds of functions. Okay. So it is not possible for anyone to teach all those modules, and also it is not possible for anyone to learn all those modules. So depending upon your requirement, you should learn a module. That's it. So now we have a lot of built-in third-party modules. Okay, so here I am going to create a new file called as numpy.py. And also regarding yesterday's class, let me make sure one thing. So I am going to open that GitHub link. So yesterday is day 70. Yesterday is day 18, right? So here, so in the other tab, I'm going to open user defined modules.py. Okay, so fine. So these are the two programs which we discussed yesterday. So in case, suppose if you have any doubt in this, if name equal to main means, so just make sure that you understood this concept. So here the point is, while executing calculator.py file, this is my module. Calculator.py is my module. Okay, so while running this calculator.py file, whatever the contents that are present inside this if block will get executed. Okay, let me repeat. Just give me a second. Okay, fine. So here we have a file called calculator.py, right? So whenever I run this file, then the code present inside this if block will get executed. That's it. Okay. Now, if I import this file into another file, now here I am importing calculator file into another Python file. Now the code present inside this if block will not get executed. Okay. So that's the point which you should remember. If I am running calculator.py file means the code present inside this if block will get executed. If I am importing this calculator in another Python file means then the code present inside this if block will not get executed. So if I run this calculator.py file, I will get output as don't run this file. This is a module, import this module in another Python file. Suppose while importing this module, I am importing calculator here. So here this print function will not get executed. That's the point which you should remember. So I hope you understood. So today we have discussed about PyAuto GUI module, which is a third-party module. And similarly, we have another module called as NumPy, which stands for numerical Python. So NumPy stands for numerical Python. So if you want to perform mathematical calculations means you can use this numpy module. We have another module called as math also. We have discussed about that math module. But here, with the help of numpy module also, we can perform some cool mathematical operations. Okay. So just give me 1 second. So here I am going to open some random website, NumPy Python. So this is the official website of NumPy, numpy.org. So this is the official website. And if you open some other websites like W3 schools means, so here you can clearly understand what this NumPy is. So here basically with the help of NumPy module, we work on arrays. So in Python, we have discussed about list, tuples, sets and dictionaries, right? So now what is meant by arrays? So here arrays are also similar to list only. Inside arrays also, we will store multiple elements. They are exactly same. They are also similar to list only. But here the main difference is arrays are faster than comparing to list. What does that mean? So if you are working on some large data set means execution of your list will be little bit slower comparing to array. Why? Because so here, so why NumPy faster than list? You can see here the exact question. So NumPy is faster. NumPy arrays are faster than list. Why? Because uh, you can read this. So they are stored at continuous places in memories, unlike list. So processors can access, manipulate them efficiently. So comparing to operations which we perform on list, NumPy operations are faster. And also the one more reason is, so this NumPy is written on C language. You can see here, NumPy is a Python library which is partially written in Python, but most of the parts that require fast computations are written in C or C++. So I think you understood this point. So just a few part of NumPy is written on Python. Most of the parts are written on C and C++. So what does that? So why it is fast? What is happening here means. So here the point is C and Java, they are faster comparing to Python. The reason is C programming and Java programming and C++, they are compiled programming languages, whereas Python is an interpreted programming language. So C and Java, they are faster, whereas in case of Python, the execution happens line by line. Why? Because it is an interpreted programming language. So it is slower comparing to C and Java. I am not saying that Python is slow, but it is slower comparing to C and Java. C and Java are faster. So here the point is most of the code of NumPy is written on C. Okay, we know that the combination of C and Python is called as Cython, Cython. So here most of the code of NumPy is written on C. So the NumPy arrays are faster comparing to Python list. So these NumPy arrays also look exactly as Python list only, but they are faster. So you will understand this faster execution only while working on large data sets. Suppose if you are working on some GBs of data, gigabytes of data means you will definitely feel that lists are slower and NumPy arrays are much faster. So why are they fast? Because most of the code of NumPy is written in C or C++, and C is faster language comparing to Python. Why? Because C is a compiled programming language and Python is an interpreted programming language. Yeah, I hope you understood the concept of NumPy here. So if we want to perform operations like linear algebra, matrices, so we can do all those things with the help of NumPy module. So first step is we need to install that module, right? So enter command as pip install NumPy. So pip install followed by module name. Now if I hit enter, I am getting here as requirement already satisfied. If you are installing this for first time, then you may see that it will download from the internet and it will install the module. So okay, now import numpy as np. So why np? So I am just making alias here. I have explained about this as keyword, right? So now in my program, instead of using numpy, I can use np. I can call all the functions which are present inside numpy module with the help of np. So np dot function name. I don't have to use numpy dot function name again and again. Simply I can use np here. And also one more thing is whenever you search something regarding NumPy module in Google, you will find this type of import statement. They will import NumPy as NP. Uh, why? Because it became a standard fashion nowadays. So whenever you see a code related to NumPy module, they will import module like this only. So it is better practice to import NumPy in like this only, because some case if you are feeling any issues with NumPy means, so NumPy ND array error. I'm just searching for a random error. So here I am going to open Stack Overflow. So if you don't know what is Stack Overflow means, so basically it is a website where you will find answers to all kind of errors. So if you are getting any error in programming means, search your error on the Google. On the top itself, you will find Stack Overflow website. Enter into that website. That definitely you will find answer. Okay, you can see here. So just ignore the error and ignore the answer. What I want to show is here you can see he have explained what the error is, and in the code he have imported this numpy as np. So wherever you see numpy module, they will import it as np. So it became a fashion these days. So it is better to use like this only. You can use nppp also. No one is going to stop you. But most of the people are importing this in the similar way. So import this numpy module as np. That's it. Okay, so now, so to create an array, I am going to declare a variable here called as array. So array is nothing but it is also exactly looks like list only. We can store multiple elements inside it. So the in NumPy we call it as arrays. In normal Python we call it as list. That's it. Okay, don't confuse with the new term array. It is also similar to list only. So if you are from Java background or C background means there we don't have the concept of list tuple sets. There we have arrays only. So LP dot, here I have a function called LD array. So why am I not getting suggestions here? Seems like some problem with my VS Code. So here inside this area, now I can call all the functions from NumPy with the help of LP. So here I have a function called as LP dot array, LP dot array, and we know that after function name we use parentheses, and inside this parentheses I am going to pass the elements of my array. So here the main thing which you should remember is we pass the elements inside a list only. Okay, but it will get stored as an array. It will get stored as a numpy array, but here we will pass a list only. Okay, so I am going to pass some random elements here. All right, so now if I print arr, if I run this, numpy has no attribute array, so I think I should use nd array. What is happening here? np.nd array. Import numpy as np.nd array. I don't know why I'm getting this error. Just give me a second. np.nd array. We have this function in NumPy. So yes, import NumPy as NumPy, creating array. So first I have used this. This is the worst website. So np.array, and inside this we pass a list. That's it. Let me copy the same code here. So I think there is some issue with my Python interpreter. Okay, I understood the issue. So here my Python file name is numpy, right? So make sure that it will conflict. So numpy is my module name and also my file name. So it is conflicting. So let me rename this as numpy module.py. So I understood the error now. So make sure that your file name is not same as module name. Okay, now if I run this, you can see here I got the output as 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside an array. Now if I say type of error, and if I run this program, you can see here I got output as numpy nd array. Nd means n dimensions array. So here the point is we know about type function which will return the data type of a variable. So here like this we can create an array in numpy with the help of numpy. So, and we can easily perform operations here. Let me create two arrays. So np dot, so I have a function called range. Again, I am not getting any kind of suggestions. So here, a range. So yes, this is my function, a range. So this a range is a function. It will also works exactly same as a normal range function in Python. So inside this range function, I am going to pass starting range as 1 and ending range as 6. Now if I print ARR2 and if I run this, you can see here ARR2 is not defined. I am creating here ARR2. Why is it not defined? Let me run this once again. So yes, I am getting error for line number 8. Let me remove this line itself. All right. So if I run this, you can see here again I got the same output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I say 6 comma 11 means what will happen, the range will start from 6 and it will end at 10. So this np.arange is a function. uh, it will also works exactly as normal range function in Python only. If I say starting range as 6 and the ending range as 11 means it will create an array which will contain numbers from 6 to 10. I am mentioning 11 here, so it will end at 10 itself. So like that only range function also works in Python, right? So if I run this, you can see here this time I got output as 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now here some of the cool things which we can perform are, so I think I can directly add these two arrays, ARR1 plus ARR2. And if I print ARR, so yes, so first let me print ARR1 also and ARR2. Now I am running this. So you can see here I am performing addition operation on these two arrays. So my first array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the second array is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now add each and every element. 1 plus 6 is 7. So I am performing addition and I am assigning the result to new array ARR and I am printing that ARR. Okay. So in the result I got output as 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. So what is happening here? 1 plus 6 is 7 and the second element from ARR1 2 and the second element from second array 7, 2 plus 7 is 9. So I got 9. Now the third element from ARR1 and the third element from ARR2, which is 3 and 8. What is 3 plus 8? 11. So like this the addition operation will happen. So in case of list, if we use plus means it will perform extend operation. It will add elements. So let me explain with the help of list also. I will comment out these three lines. So if I use this plus on normal list means this is my LST1 and LST2. If I say LST equal to LST1 plus LST2 and print LST1. So I need to use equal to here. Okay. So now if I run this, you can see here like this, it will perform extend operation. First, I got all the elements from list 1. After that, I got all the elements from list 2. Whereas in case of NumPy arrays, we can directly perform addition on each and every element from the array. Okay, so if I run this, you can see here it has performed addition on 1 and 6, 2 and 7, 3 and 8, 4 and 9, and 5 and 10. So these are the users of NumPy arrays, and we have a lot of functions inside NumPy arrays. So if you open any random website, so here, so you can see here a lot of operations are available on NumPy arrays. You can perform mathematical calculations like sin theta, cos theta. We can perform all those operations here also. So that's the thing about NumPy arrays. It will take 1 week to teach all the functions of NumPy arrays. And also, I recommend you that you don't have to remember the syntax of any function here. You don't have to remember the functionality of any function. So from the beginning itself, some people are asking me to explain about NumPy arrays. So that's the reason why I have briefly gave introduction regarding this NumPy module. That's it. So with the help of NumPy module, we can perform mathematical calculations. NumPy stands for numerical Python. So most of the code of NumPy is written on C language. So it is faster comparing to normal list. So in case of NumPy, we have a function called array. With the help of that function, we can create NumPy arrays. So these NumPy arrays are much faster comparing to normal list. Again, we have a function called array range. So array range, which stands for array range. So if we pass a starting range and ending range, then it will create an array from that starting range to ending range. So I hope you understood the concept here. So like this, we have a lot of modules, and from each and every module, we have a lot of functions. So my suggestion is, you don't have to learn all modules, and you don't have to memorize all the functions. Depending upon your requirement, search on the Google, you will get an answer. Use that in your code. That's it. So how to take user input and numpy present? So if you want to take user input means, uh, of course, you can use input function. That's it. So use input function, take user input. After that, pass that input to numpy array. Okay. Seems like I haven't disabled the chat section. So today we have discussed about PyAuto GUI module. After that, we have discussed about NumPy module. So if you have any doubts regarding these concepts, you can ask me now. And don't leave this class. So I will introduce you about matplotlib module also. So matplotlib. So if you want to create graphs, then you can use this matplotlib module. So this is also a third-party module. First, you should install this module, pip install matplotlib. After that, uh, you can create graphs like this. So if you want to create graph like this, you can use matplotlib module in Python. Okay. So here, first you need to install matplotlib, pip install matplotlib. So again, I am getting requirement already satisfied. So which means I have already installed that module. So I'm going to create a new folder here called as matplot, or else I will say graphs.py. Okay. So here, uh, how to use matplotlib module? Go to Google, search for matplotlib. So copy this, paste it here. So I am not going to use numpy arrays here. I am going to use normal list itself. So I am going to give some points here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know how to plot a graph, right? So we have a x-axis. After that, we will have a y-axis. So depending upon the values from x-axis and y-axis, we keep a dot. After that, we will connect all the dots: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I am assigning two list to two variables, x points and y points. So I don't want numpy here now. So first import the matplotlib module. I am performing alias here. So PLT is my module name now. So whenever I want to use a function, I can use PLT here. So from matplotlib, I am importing pyplot. So don't confuse with all those things here. So I have explained the basics of NumPy module. That's it. So I am getting messages as explain NumPy once again. So if I start explaining what is the meant by matplotlib.pyplot, then you will definitely get confusion. So just learn this thing. Import the module, take two list, and we have a function called plot. So this plot function is used to plot these points on graph. So I will get a point on 1 and 2. I will get a point on 2 and 4. I will get a point on 3 and 6, 4 and 8, 5 and 10. Okay. So you need to pass these two list x points comma y points to this plot function. It will perform plot operation. So after that, we have a function called show. This show function will display the graph. So if I run this program, so I'm running matplotlib for the first time. Yes, you can see here. So like this, you will get a graph. So the first point is 1 comma 2. The next point is 2 comma 4. This is the next point. The next point is 3 comma 6. So like that. So if I change this to uh, 10 comma 10, something like this. Let me close this graph. And if I run this once again, you can see here 2 comma 2. I'm sorry, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 4. This is my second point. 3 comma 6 my third point, 4 comma 8 my next point, and 10 comma 10 is my final point. So this curve here is 4 comma 8, and after 4 comma 8 I am passing 10 comma 10. So in our sixth class and seventh class, we have learned about graphs, right? So basically, we are plotting some points, and after that, we are connecting all those points. That's it. So if you want to perform operations like this means visualization operations like graphs, bar charts, scatter plots. So if you want to perform all those things means you can use matplotlib module. First install that module. So go to Google and search for that module. Here they will clearly explain what will happen, what is happening in each and every step. That's it. So this is the official website of matplotlib, which is matplotlib.org. Okay. So now if you look at a code, then so here we have numpy code here, right? So if you look at this code, you will understand. So we are importing numpy module as np. We are performing aliasing here. So now we can call all the functions from numpy module with the help of np. So np dot function name followed by parenthesis, and inside parenthesis we will pass arguments. That's it. So this concept is same in all modules. What you should do, depending upon your requirement, find a module, see what are the functions available in that module, and start using those functions. That's it. So NumPy is for mathematical calculations, and Matplotlib is used for creating graphs in Python. So we have discussed about three modules today: PyAutoGui, NumPy, Matplotlib, and apart from that, we have discussed about sleep function in Python. With the help of time module, we can import a function called sleep, and we can use that sleep function to pass the execution of our program. Okay, I hope you understood it. So let me tell one more thing. Don't get offended or don't feel. Suppose now I have clearly explained what is meant by import statement, what is as, what is from import. All these things we have discussed about built-in modules. We have created our own modules. After that, now we are discussing about third-party modules. Suppose if you have any or if you find difficult to understand these concepts means you are not practicing daily. That's the only reason. Okay. So I think tomorrow we will discuss about exception handling in Python. Tomorrow I will explain what is meant by exception handling. Now, if you don't have any doubts in NumPy means, if you don't have any doubts in Matplotlib, or if you don't have any doubts in today's class means you can leave. If you have any doubts in, if you have any other doubts means you can ask now. So Kalyan, is this fair? You are asking me to tell the modules. So what am I supposed to tell? From last 3 days, we are discussing about modules only. If you want me to tell the basic definition, then module is nothing but a Python file. That's it. If you want to learn more, I highly recommend you to check out the recorded sessions. From last 3 days, we are discussing about modules only. Okay. In our today's class, we discussed about third-party modules. Okay. Yes, Vishnu, if you have any requirement like that means, of course, you can use loops, conditions, whatever you want, you can use them. Okay. No one is going to stop you. So is that Akhil? Actually, I don't know. I will actually pass a parameter. That's it. So if I directly say sleep, let us see what will happen. So here we are importing sleep, right? If I say sleep and if I run this program, or let me uncomment this, I am not passing 5 here. Let me comment out this. All right. Now, if I run this program, no, by default, sleep function will not pass the execution for 1 second. We should pass one argument here. So make sure that you are passing argument. If you pass one means it will stop the execution for 1 second. If you pass 5 means it will stop the execution for 5 seconds. So you should pass an argument. So Basically, Pushparaj, PyAuto GUI is used for automation. That's it. So if you want to automate something like, so here I have shown you. If you want to type something, then you can place that text inside write function. Then the Python program is going to type for you. So if you want to perform automation, then we will use PyAuto GUI module. So, Sai Pooja, I am going to copy your question and I am going to search this question in the chat GPT. I will get the answer. And with the help of that answer, I will figure out how to use PyChart how to create PyChart in Matplotlib module. Okay. How to create Matplot in Matplotlib, how to get a pie chart. Import the library, give some labels. So you should use this py function. So this py is a function available in Matplotlib module. So this py function will create a pie chart for us. Okay, so this is the entire code. So if I copy this and inside my Matplotlib, let me comment out these two lines. And if I run this, just give me a second. Okay, so I am having a list with some labels. So if I run this now, like this, we can get a pie chart. That's it. If you want to know what is happening inside this program, head over to ChatGPT and read each and every point. Prepare a data of pie chart. You need to provide the values and labels. After that, create a pie chart. So we have a function called PIE. So with the help of this function, we can create a pie chart. After that, pass the colors. If you want colors like red, green, blue, yellow to your specific sections like A, B, C, D, E, then pass the color like that. That's it. So simply in this program, what is happening means, so here we have four sections in our pie chart. So the name of those four sections are A, B, C, D, E. And inside these four sections, depending upon the value which I am passing, 15, 30, suppose if I say, so the sum of all these values is 100 here. Okay, so sum of all these values is 100 here. If I say 25, 25, 25, 25, I am going to get equal parts now. So I have started the execution of the program. You can see here, I got equal parts here. Suppose if I say 25, 25, 50, so 50, 15, 25, 85, 90, or else something like this. No, for B, I will have 50%. For C, I will have 30%. For D, I will have, sorry, for C, I will have 20%. For D, I will have 30%. For A, I will have 25%. Something like that. Let me change this 20. So now it is 100. So if I run this, you can see here. For B, I am having 50%. So that's the thing about pie charts. So we have a function called pie. With the help of this function, we can create pie charts in Matplotlib module. So I hope you understood. So Prashant, you can start a for loop and inside that for loop, add each and every element from the set. So I will explain that tomorrow, don't worry. You are taking four inputs, X, Y, Z and N. So Pushparaj, after that, so this is list comprehension. I haven't explained this topic yet. You don't just ignore this topic. If time permits, I will explain this list comprehension also in another day. Okay. So two members asked me to explain NumPy module once again. Are you still in the meeting? So Nagaraju and Saidulu. So you people are still inside meeting. You still have any confusions regarding NumPy module? What is your doubt exactly? So that I can explain. Okay, you can. So I will stop the recording now. Please repeat once again. You want me to repeat the entire concept? You want me to repeat the entire third party modules, or else you want me to repeat the NumPy module only? I'm waiting for your message. You want me to repeat third party and NumPy everything? So listen to my words carefully now. I will repeat once again. If you are not listening means you will definitely never understand. So here third party modules means these modules does not come along with the installation of Python. We need to install these modules separately. Okay. So for installing the modules, we have this command called as pip install module name. So if you want to install NumPy module, run this command on the terminal, pip install NumPy. After that, NumPy module will get installed. So after that, to import the module, we know that we are going to use this import keyword. So now we can directly use this module in our program after installing. That's it. So the major difference is in case of built-in modules, we can directly import the module. Whereas in case of third-party modules, first we need to install the module. After that, we need to import the module. Okay. Now here, so here in NumPy, the first point is NumPy stands for numerical Python. It is used to perform mathematical calculations and scientific calculations. So here in NumPy we have arrays. So the arrays and list, they both are exactly same. They are used to store multiple elements. Okay. Then what is the main difference here means the NumPy arrays are much faster comparing to Python list. Why? Because Python is an interpreted programming language and it is slower comparing to C and Java. Whereas C and Java, they are compiled programming languages. And in C and Java, the most of the code of NumPy is written on C and C++. Okay, let me repeat once again. So the most part of NumPy is written on C and C++. So NumPy arrays are much faster comparing to Python list. Okay, so that's the reason why, because it is written in C language and C is much faster comparing to Python. Why? Because C is a compiled language and Python is an interpreted language. Now, if you want to understand what is the meaning of compiled and interpreted, then check out day 1 and day 2 video. Now here we know that NumPy has arrays. Arrays are also similar to list only. We know this point. Okay. So we have a function called array inside NumPy module to create a new array. So how to call a function? np.array. By np? np is alias name of NumPy now. Why? Because I am using as keyword here and I am performing aliasing. Instead of using NumPy, I can use np now. That's it. So np dot array function followed by parenthesis. This is how we call any function. And inside this function, we will pass a list. Okay. So now all the elements present inside this list will become an array. So if I print array one, arr1 variable, then I will get an array. So this array one may look similar to list, but it is totally different from normal list. It is much faster comparing to list. So that's the point here. So I have started the execution. So you can see here, I got in line number 7 and 8, I am printing ARR1 and ARR2. So I got the elements of array1 and array2. So in array2, I am not using array function. I am using a function called as arange. So this arange is a function available in NumPy. It will also act as similar to normal range function only. I am passing a starting range, comma ending range. So I am going to get elements from 6 to 10. My ending range is 11. So I am going to get elements until 10. Okay. So you can see here, I got output as 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are two methods of creating arrays. We can use either array function or arange function. So arange is nothing but array range. So it will act similar to range function. If you are using array function means you need to pass a list inside the parenthesis. Okay. Now, if you want to add these two elements, then you can use press operator in between ARR1 and ARR2. And if you print ARR now, basically I am performing addition and I am assigning that to ARR variable and I am printing ARR. So you can see at the output. So the first element from ARR1 and the first element from ARR2 got added. 1 and 6 got added and I got output as 7. Similarly, the second element of ARR1 and the second element of ARR2, 2 and 7, they both got added and I got output as 9. So again, the third element from both the arrays got added. I got output as 11. Next, the fourth element from both the arrays, 4 and 9 got added. I got output as 13. Similarly, the last elements from both the arrays, 5 and 10 got added. I got output as 15. So like this, we can perform direct addition operation on NumPy arrays. Okay, so if you want to perform mathematical calculations means then you can use NumPy module, and we have lot of functions inside this NumPy module. So if you want to create NumPy arrays, so these are the two methods, array and arrange. These two functions we have, and NumPy arrays are much faster comparing to normal Python list. Okay, that's the point here. I hope you clearly understood. So what are NumPy arrays now? Okay, I am going to stop the recording now.